Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Johnny, we are running out of time. Head on over to BostonWrestling.com now during WWE Hell in a Cell Sunday. It's going to be that mega raffle. For as little as a $5 raffle ticket, you can win one giant jackpot of dozens of prizes, including this right here in the middle, Johnny. One of 50 signed by the man that's going to be in that Hell in a Cell main event, former WWE World Champion Drew McIntyre, and that's just one, like we said, of dozens. And again, for as little as $5, who are we going to help out?
Make a wish.
Kids, in some cases, that have been waiting over a year to have their wishes granted.
It's a great charity. It's a great cause. Dig deep. You know what? 5 is one. Whatever you can afford, please. It's something very near and dear to me. My son John, obviously, very near and dear to him. So please, I'm asking you, dig deep, take some chances. I'll take some. We'll have a great drawing. And I can tell you right now, having seen some of the stuff that's in that package, it's way over $5.
Oh, you talk this probably over $1,000 worth of prizes at least.
I would say yes. For one $5 bill, you've got that chance. Take it.
And, you know, we also have discounts on multiple tickets. 3 for 10, I believe 7 for 25, 25 for 50, 60 for 100. I mean, you can really get in deep in this raffle for some short change and have a chance to win literally dozens and dozens of prizes. Head on over to BostonWrestling.com now through right before the main event at Hell in a Cell. I don't know. Are you going to come down, Johnny, to draw the winner? You and your buddy Jack in Kingston?
I'm not too sure.
You're not sure?
No, I don't think I'll be here.
All right. Well, you know what happened last year on that weekend? Someone you wanted to put in the cell showed up around 9:30.
Yeah, they didn't. Brought me a birthday cake and ice cream. Yep.
All right, wrestling fans, again, help us make a wish for these great kids. BostonWrestling.com's annual mega raffle now through Sunday night, June the 20th, is part of WWE Hell in a Cell. Put the women and children to bed is fresh from the Shawn Michaels A&E biography. Marty Jannetty returns for a Party with Marty triple header. Friday, June 18th, Saturday, June 19th, and then joining us again for the WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, Sunday, June the 20th, taping episodes of Wrestling Insiders, watch-alongs, and cyber autograph signings. It's going to be a huge weekend that demands fan involvement. Head on over to BostonWrestling.com for complete information and pre-ordering option. Let's help keep wrestling legends working and great wrestling talk show content being produced. We can't do it without you. Help us explode into summer. 7 nights a week at 7 p.m. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, we hope you are well wherever you may be. This is Dan Marty here at MWF Studios, downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, in the zip code of Champion 02176. Right now, getting ready to board that Learjet is the man that's been rocking since he came out of the womb. The one, the only, the man we love to party with every Thursday night, Marty Jannetty. Marty, you are en route to Boston, baby.
Yes, sir. MJ in the house. MJ on the way to Boston.
We are going to...
If I can get there.
You're going to get here. We're going to have not one, not two, but 3 big nights of fun, stories, experiences, memories, and legends. We're going to be having a cyber autograph signing each night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so you can get a personalized photo from Marty live on the air. But not only will you get the picture, but Marty will give you a shout-out, almost like you're with us in the studio, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was we did that last couple of times. It was a lot of fun.
And
got into some personal details with people, but it was pretty good. It was fun. Nothing bad.
well, we just got to make sure you don't order anything this time. That was.
You know, I still get calls from my old place.
I am not surprised by that by any stretch of the imagination. But fans, in addition to that, if you are one of our wonderful Patreons, we're going to try and have a limited amount of folks join us. If you want to be a part of the fun live, we had a special secret guest that showed up on a Sunday at our last taping, who will remain nameless. We don't want to make anyone jealous, but
you're gonna make me guess too, huh?
Well, you know, you remember our friend we had on the Sunday the last time you were here, do you not? He came all the way from Weston, Massachusetts on a whim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Great guy, and we want to try and do that for everybody. You know, the world is getting a little bit back to normal again, as all roads lead to Memorial Hall for our
What world is that?
Well, at least in Massachusetts, it's kind of it's a mask-free world if you've been vaccinated. I don't know about where you are. We'll have to discuss our different places of residence.
I didn't even think about that. I may have to hitchhike up there.
Well, I don't know about that, Marty. I don't think you're going to need to go that far. But
some airlines, it might be for international flights, though. If you're not vaccinated, you can't fly.
Oh, I got you. Yes, that doesn't apply to domestic flights.
Okay.
Because I just flew not too long before I had my vaccination, and it wasn't a problem. Go ahead.
Wonder how you prove it. You got to have a certificate or something, or can I just take a needle, stick a hole in my shoulder, and say, "Yeah, right here, I got it."
As far as I don't know about international flights, but I know domestically, I think it's kind of the honors system. So take that.
Okay, well, I'll put a Band-Aid over it and say, "Yeah, I left my certificate."
Take that for what it is, Marty. It is a crazy time here. We're getting ready for the big 20th anniversary fall for all of our great talk shows 7 nights a week. We've got the big Back to the 80s WrestleFest event that is coming to Memorial Hall in Melrose, 2 blocks from this fine institution. Even our friends over at Noel Salon in Malden are making the big move. They love Melrose so much, they're coming to Green Street in Melrose starting next week. So it's a crazy time all around. Wrestle House continues to provide us with some great guests. We've heard from Jerry Briscoe, JTG of Crime Time, Dutch Mantel, and the list goes on and on. Just so many big things happening, but well, see, Marty's phone, he's in rural Georgia right now, and he keeps breaking in and out. I'm going to try and call him back, but so many big things are happening. Let's see if we can get him back. Well, maybe he's partying too much. I don't know, but he is in good spirits. He's of clear mind and sound, as you can tell. But he told me he has been having some reception issues down there. He doesn't live in Atlanta itself, so the outskirts sometimes, I guess the reception isn't so great. That is one thing I guess we kind of take for granted where we're based out of here in about 5 miles north of Boston. But again, if you are a Patreon and you want to join us live, you are welcome. All right, well, that's his voicemail again. We'll give him a second because the first time we tried to do this, it bailed out on us too. But so what we're going to do is tonight, where we had some technical problems with the last episode we taped when he was here with us in February, we're going to have, I guess, maybe a Marty Classic we're going to throw on and maybe get you guys back in the mood because beginning next Thursday, we'll be back again with all new episodes with Marty. I'm going to try and call him one more time. And see if we can get the rascal on the phone because there's some great things happening beyond him being with.
Hey, you know what we should do?
What should we do, Marty? I didn't stop talking the whole time.
Get 2 more than little short segments and splice them all together.
You know what? This is so much fun. We'll just kind of keep it as it is as we kind of wrap it up. Like I was just telling the fans, what we're going to do is you're en route to Boston now tonight. We're going to be back with all new in-studio episodes next Thursday. Maybe we should go back to where it all began, episode 1, where you kind of discuss how you and Shawn had that fallout over the cereal commercial and the payphone phone call you had to make to Titan Towers and get the fans' juices ready for a little bit more Marty.
And I remembered something that happened. I forgot it for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
There was actually I got shamed twice. I'll wait and tell it on the show though.
All right. Well, we'll save the good stuff when you hear.
Hey, you let them know about tomorrow night and Saturday night and Sunday night.
And Marty, not only are we going to have these live episodes, live autograph signings for the fans Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, but Sunday night is the big WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. We're going to do the watch-along, and you are going to draw the winner of our 2021 Make-A-Wish Mega Raffle, where every year we try and help those poor kids with terminal conditions, many of whom have been waiting over a year to have their wishes granted. We have one giant jackpot with dozens of prizes, and you are going to pick the winner, Marty. One lucky fan is going to walk away with thousands of prizes because of your hand.
What if I pull my own name?
I think you'd have to buy a raffle ticket first, and I don't know if you'd qualify. I'd have to talk to President Reese about that.
Whatever you do, don't talk to Vince McMahon about it.
Well, I'll say this. Our friends in WWE, as always, were very generous in trying to help with what we do. Annie was even ready to throw in a gift certificate for a little servicing, but, you know.
And I wasn't trying to talk him, derogatory about it, but I was just saying they've been known to do a thing or two.
So, you know
I love this to death. You know that.
I know you do. That jackpot of prizes keeps growing again. If you want to pre-order your Marty Jannetty autograph photos, we have 8 different 8x10s you can pick from. Head on over to bostonwrestling.com. And again, if you want to get your Make-A-Wish raffle tickets for the big drawing on Sunday night during Hell in a Cell again, bostonwrestling.com is the place to be. Marty, you sound great. I understand you're moving great. I have a feeling we are in for 3 great days this weekend.
I'm already prepared. I'm already happy. I got a couple of, I better not tell those stories.
No.
I've changed.
You used to say that to me during every episode. You changed, man.
You remember that, huh?
How could I not? I have to edit them after we tape them. I relive these episodes over and over again.
Hey, you ain't gonna believe this, but I'm not gonna lose my phone the whole weekend.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't bet $1 on that in Las Vegas, but that remains to be seen. Marty, any final thoughts for the great fans before we go back to a Party with Marty Classic to give the fans some talk show entertainment tonight?
Well, I think that's anybody that tunes in on the live shows is going to be entertained because I'm more like the fool.
I think we lost him again. Marty, are you still there? Marty! All right, fans, his reception has been in and out. I don't know if he can hear me right now. We cannot hear him. Right now, let's go back to where it all began with Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty. We're disconnected. We'll see Marty this weekend. Stand by for some fun, folks. All right, wrestling fans, this is a great day. It is SummerSlam weekend when this episode is going to premiere. As you can tell, this is not Mr. USA Tony Atlas, unless he went through some kind of an amazing transformation up in Auburn, Maine from the episodes we've had on his porch. But Marty is not replacing Tony. He's just joining the team. Marty, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Well, we'll touch, but we can't.
The elbow? Yeah. I think that's what we did at the airport, yeah.
Let me cover this. We lean in again.
We don't know what to do here. This is the first taping we've had in studio since February. So, it's kind of, yeah.
Wow.
So it's when Tony comes down like this, we take several episodes. No, don't worry about that. We taped several episodes. So when Tony was here in February, we were set through March.
Yeah.
And then, the world went nuts with coronavirus.
Yeah,
so,
man. Them Chinese people.
The fans
I didn't mean to say that.
The fans have wanted to know, Marty, what have you been doing during the coronavirus?
Playing with my cat a lot.
You got a cat?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. We don't want to hear about what happened with the cat in Maine. But
No, don't do that. No, Swaggy's my buddy. Thank God I got him because I live by myself. Can't have no girls. I'm single. So usually was having parties and wild things going on. Can't do none of that now.
Why?
Well, everybody down, Georgia, everybody's.
I see, because of the quarantine. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't have a girlfriend when this all started. I see what you mean.
Well, I did, but it was a lot of them. And they slowly, as the pandemic kept going, because everybody thought it'll stop, it'll slow down.
Yeah, right.
As it kept going, the less girls were coming by and less and less and less. And then I had one that was defiant, like, nah, I ain't worried about all that. And she didn't, then she called it. I'm like, nah, you can't come over. She was going to come over anyway. I ain't going to say her name, but not that y'all would know her. But yeah, so I'm sitting there now with my cat. We sit and watch TV, made no sports. I mean, it's like, I'm glad I don't carry a gun. I just grab it and say, Swaggy, you pull it. But yeah, man, that's why my hair, by the way, let me explain this Captain Caveman Jannetty haircut. I ain't worried. I see on TV all the celebrities doing their own hair. And I see what it looks like afterward. Like, nah, I'll just let it grow out. And before I do something like this, go get it cut. And so I did. Went to get it cut yesterday before coming here. Mm-hmm. And the lady's out of business because she had to close her shop so long. So that's why the Captain Caveman, what to do? Got a hat.
Well, if you visited our good friends at Noel Salon, noelsalon.com in Malden, Massachusetts, we'll have to do that next time you come up, because hopefully you're going to be a regular up here. And, well, by the time we're done, I think they're going to be long gone.
Oh, yeah?
They don't have the wrestling work. I shouldn't say that.
Oh, you're planning on being here that long?
I don't want. Well, they were out of there early, believe me. But Marty, you know, we talked about it in the car last night. Another question that the fans had asked was, when was the last time you wrestled? And, you know, you have reasons why right now you can't.
Yeah.
And I hated to hear it, and I hated to see it, because it reminded me of the Sheik.
Can I tell it?
Sure, tell the story.
Well, I would show it, but I'm afraid to move. And I might go out of frame if I move.
No.
I'll give y'all a shot of this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Don't make fun of my New Orleans Saints socks, because I am an Atlanta Falcons fan, and that's a no-no. But yeah, see I don't know if y'all going to be able to see it. I don't want to dirty up the chair, but see how this is.
Lance, can we see that in the control room, brother? If not, maybe come out and zoom in. I don't know how long you can hold that position, like you're a foot model or something.
But I don't want the people home getting bored. Bam.
No, when I saw you going into that the convenience store last night, all it did, it reminded me of the Sheik. It was just brutal seeing you walk like that.
Gimping like that, yeah.
It's almost like you're walking on your ankle and not your foot.
It's like the leg bone coming right here, yeah.
Yeah.
Because look, the foot's over there, the bone's right over
now,
here.
is it just something that's accumulated? He's going in right now to switch the camera. Has this accumulated over time, or was it one particular injury? I know you said
I think it's gotten worse and worse and worse as I went. I used to jog a lot for conditioning, stamina. That my whole life, because I've been an athlete since 12 years old. Sports, I say the sports. We good?
He got you, brother. You can sit down again.
Okay. How much are these? Can I buy one?
No, those aren't cheap, believe me.
They're not?
No, there isn't much in here that's cheap. There isn't much in here that's cheap. No, I didn't call you broke. I'm just saying I don't want to see any money. I want the money going in your wallet, not out of it.
Shit, wallet's got a hole in it. But yeah, all the years of jogging, you know, and being 220, 230 pounds, now I'm down a little bit. But back then, and I mean every day, 3-4 miles, excuse my language, over 4 was rough. But still, that's a lot for a heavier man every day, every day. And it's just the pounding, and I had flat feet, so that didn't help. And then you can imagine all the years of jumping off top ropes, like even a cage once or twice. That's pretty cool. Where'd you get that?
You know the lady. Good friend of ours, Sweet Sue.
Oh, okay. Oh,
long time. That's where we get all these gimmicks from.
Sue, I want one.
See, we've had that for a while. I don't know if they make them anymore, but
yeah. But so yeah, jumping off things like this.
Yeah.
You know, when Shawn and I was first getting in, you know, even WWE at the time, or I'm sorry. There was a time when there wasn't mats around the ring. So when you were jumping off and whatever you might be doing, concrete floor, just like this. Ow, that hurt.
You shouldn't have done that.
I just broke the other ankle. But yeah, you're landing on concrete. We used to make jokes about, you know, people hurting and then telling us, hey, go get some Aleve. You know, it works for me. Yeah, but when's the last time you took a 10-foot backdrop on a concrete floor?
It's one thing, yeah. Aleve is great if you have a headache.
Yeah, right. or you scratched yourself. Yes, I guess. They don't even work for me for that. But anyway, yeah, all the years of jumping up, because that was our thing. Shawn and I come in, the smallest guys in WWF. So we were like, we got to do something, but we can't out-punch and kick them.
Right.
They're all 6'6" and 300 pounds muscled up. What is our little asses going to do to them? We got to do flips and speed bump things. But all those years, it took its toll. Like Shawn, I think his mainly, remember the time he hit the corner of the ring, messed his back up real bad.
Oh, when the Undertaker in the casket match, yeah.
Is that what it was?
He landed on the corner of the casket, yeah.
But at the same time, all them years he was jumping off the top ropes to the floors, and it's just, the human body ain't made to do that.
No, you're not action figures.
Sometimes I feel like them.
Right?
Sometimes. But anyway, yeah, so it's that one. This one is actually, it hurts as much because it's so bone on bone. I went to a friend of mine, Dr. McCluskey, Lee McCluskey, one of the best in the world. So studied with Dr. Andrews. Everybody knows.
Oh, really?
him.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, well, they both were right there in Columbus, Georgia, my hometown. So when I wrestled in high school and college, I would always go see them when there was any problems and stuff. They always looked after me. But so he's a friend of mine. He said, I'll take care of him. You know, he's my buddy. You ain't got to worry about paying me because I don't have no health insurance. And that stuff is expensive.
Welcome to life.
Yeah.
After having the six-figure contracts, no health insurance.
Hey, I tried the Obamacare. I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off right now, and I'm not trying to do that.
Just be yourself, that's
I'm
all.
just being honest. I tried the Obamacare issue thing, or route, and it strung me out for 6 months.
To just get on it, you mean?
No, like when I would go in to see the doctor.
You had to wait 6 months to get the appointment?
She would tell me one thing and then like come back in 3, 4, 5 weeks, or give me a date and come back way later and x-ray it and do something and wait another 3, 4, 5 weeks. That way, 6 months of that. And then she finally says, yeah, your ankle is the worst. This was my buddy too, Dr. McCluskey, told me the same thing. He goes, I've been doing this a while. That's the worst ankle I've ever seen.
Wow.
Because I know you're tough, wrestler and all that. We played football together in high school and college. So he knew me from that too. He goes, I know your pain threshold is higher than most. He goes, because nobody else could have walked in here like that.
For the fan, just so I can describe it, from my eyes, it reminded me so much of the Sheik. Because like I told you, we got into the car accident together, and as a result, his ankle, it's almost like when he walks on the ankle and the foot is shifted over here. So this is like his foot. So he's walking on all ankle, which is why the Sheik really doesn't leave the house outside of a couple of really, high tier paydays over the course of maybe 1 or 2 a year. But with you, it reminded me of the same thing. He really can't walk at all now. You're still trying to navigate through it, and it's just it sucks to see.
Well, and with Sheik, I used to see him. Me and him are boys. We've got some stories. But he when he was getting bad, he has that big high cane like Moses had.
Yeah.
And I would see him, and I'm like, God, that's so horrible. I hated seeing that for him. Little I know, some years later, I'm looking forward to my high canes too, to help the walking. But the thing about it is it's pain all the time. It's just some days, like I was telling you earlier, some days like today happen to be a rather bad one. There's good days, there's bad days, but even a good day, it hurts.
Right, exactly. And I feel the pain because you've seen how dilapidated my body is. Even on a good day, you're hurt, and then when on a bad day, I mean that you just turn up the volume and it's unbearable.
And then the way you perceive life, I learned that by this. It's just so different. It's like, even if it's a good, imagine, it's like putting on some sunglasses and they're all scratched up, but you're looking at the beach and the beautiful scenery, but they're still scratched up. It's like, oh, that's nice, kind of, yeah. Dang, these glasses, was this sort of that with your health? It's like, when you're in pain all the time, even good things are not quite as good.
It's one thing for wrestling fans to observe and learn about the history of the great industry. Some that may be amused by the addiction problems that have come along with it.
I don't know what's amusing
until
about it either.
until the bodies have actually experienced it, there's really no room to judge.
And that's the whole thing. I don't know outside of wrestling and many others. I'm all into sports, everything. Even because I lived in New Orleans for a hot minute, I had to be a fan of New Orleans. My St. Sox, but I love every sport: baseball, basketball, all of it. Hockey, at least, because down south we didn't. Back when I was younger, we had to watch everything up here.
You didn't have anything local to root for.
And I'm sorry, I'm all over the map. But when I moved to Vegas, that was funny. They brought a hockey team out to the desert. We're like, what are they going to do? Skate on sand?
I think it's a great city for it, but that's just one man's opinion. I'd like to see.
They won, a couple years ago.
Yeah. And now they have the Raiders. Well, I don't know if they're going to be any fans this year, but the Las Vegas Raiders are going to start in September.
See, all that happened after I moved. It's like
you would have stayed, maybe.
Yeah. You told me. I knew the Raiders were coming because they'd been talking about it for like 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Now it's finally happening. What was we talking about the story?
We're talking about the foot. Well, we were talking about the fans that were asking how active you were in the ring. And you were telling in the car last night you had one, I think it was during one of the WrestleMania weekends. That was almost the straw that broke the camel's back and the ankle.
Yeah. And I'll tell another one here in a minute, but just to finish the sports thing,
all right.
for the fan can understand the abuse on the body. All other sports, football, the NFL is about as brutal as it gets. You're talking about bam, 2 bodies, wham, at full speed, and that's going to hurt. But the adrenaline, just like in wrestling, when we get slammed off the top rope or suplex, or superplex. Yes, the ring gives a little bit. It ain't quite as that hurt. It ain't quite as hard as this. Don't let me do that no more. One more. God,
there you go.
Okay. What was I talking about?
Sports.
Oh, the superplex. I mean, it has a little give. It has to. Otherwise, the Bundys, rest his soul, you break, because there's wood, things in there. So it has a little give. But oh my God,
it's not a trampoline like some experts say.
And boxing rings, when we have to accidentally use a boxing ring in some cities.
You talk about stiff.
Oh my God, it's like this floor. It's like the It's like this floor like that, like that. But so, and what I brought up the other sports for is like the NFL and hockey's pretty brutal, man. They take some knockings, but they got it this seasonal. They take their lumps and bruises and then they get some, we got a little time between, and they have to. But wrestling, while it might not be as impactful on the body like the NFL hits, it's still pretty bad.
Now, as someone that played college,
and that's 300 days a year.
Exactly. As someone that played college football, you have a great athletic background. How would you compare the abuse on the gridiron compared to professional wrestling?
And this I try to explain, because I have something called bad luck.
You're in good company.
Uh-oh, let me scoot over.
Scoot over, yeah, maybe I should.
It's like, I use the analogy of boxing sometimes with my bad luck, because everybody's like, hey, Marty, it happens to all of us. Hey, that happened to me, that happened to me. I'm not new. I'm aware that it happens to everybody. But I get it all the time in every aspect of my life, not just, bills or friends everywhere. And it's not a major thing. Somebody's like, you let that bother you with all the shit that you've been through? And it's not that one thing that happened. It's like a boxing is jab, 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 jab. A jab it's going to piss you off a little bit, like stop. But after about 1,000 jabs, then it's like, gosh, damn. Then it starts to bother you. And it's the same way with wrestling. I mean, they ain't none of them breaking, except for Sid. Remember that time he jumped off?
Oh, my God. Oh, that was grotesque.
Snapped he held his leg up, and from here down was dangling.
Just dangling, yeah.
I didn't think he'd ever get in the ring again after that.
Well, he had to go through a lot just to get to that point. A lot of recovery time, yeah.
I like old Sid, man. He's a good friend. But yeah, man, it's the constant pounding of the body after 300 days. And you know what? Here's something a lot of people don't understand unless you've done it. Some business guys have to go through this routine, but they don't have to get slammed in the ring every night. It's you wake up at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever early, and catch a flight, go to the next city, and from there you rent a car, you go get your rental car. Then once you get your car, you go find a place to eat. You're hungry, you go check in a hotel. And then you go to the gym. And then you get back home and take a shower and then go to the show. And then if you're goofies like me and some of my partners were, I don't want to put nobody in trouble, some of my tag partners were, you go to the clubs every night until 2 or 3 in the morning, and you wake up early, if you sleep at all, and you repeat that routine day after day after day after day. That alone, let alone the slams and the suplexes and the super kicks, that alone will wear you out after 10 days. When I first went, am I talking too much?
No.
You sure?
Absolutely.
This is a talk show, right?
That's what we do. We're not, if you and I were going to get in the ring to have a match, I don't think many people would be watching.
Well, you don't think we're good?
You might be. I'm lucky I can get out of bed.
If you're good enough, you both are good.
There you go.
Well, you know what? Now I'm transitioning to a different story. I'm sorry, I'm all over the map.
Hey, this is like you're like the white Tony.
I got it. I was gonna say white face, but I thought now they might throw some racist stuff on me. But shoot, I forgot why I was going to tell you this. But with the injury thing.
Yeah.
I just stopped, actually, and I still love it. I just can't do it. I'm not going to go in and give a bad performance. So I stopped doing in-ring. I'll still do personal appearances If y'all remember that now, give me a call for personal appearances. Seminars, I love doing those because I love teaching the kids.
If anyone comes across this and they're interested in reaching Marty and they don't know how, shoot us an email and we'd be happy to help set it up like we do with Tony.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. And yeah, and I love, I ran a couple of wrestling schools, one in Houston and then one in Tallahassee. And love them, man. I love teaching the kids. That's, for me now that I've slowed down, even before the ankles became what they did, when I got about 45-ish, might have slowed down a little bit. and you know, when you perform at top level all the time, that's your, you know, you never want to give a bad show. You give 100%. If you can only go out and give 80, you just don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. There was a time Vince McMahon came up to me one time. I had Justin Bradshaw. I love him, man.
A man that's been right in that very seat.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's been here before, yeah. He was actually Intercontinental Champion when he came in.
Is that right?
He was just finishing up with WWE, yeah, in 2009.
You've had the show that long?
Oh, the first, Sheik was the first one we had in 2004.
I could not believe it.
And that was the one that went on Howard Stern because he wanted to rape Brian Blair and Hogan. With no teeth. With a fake Olympic medal around his neck.
That's my brother. That's my brother. I totally forgot what I was about to tell you.
Well, let me see if I can maybe help circle you back in.
And let me explain this too real quick.
All right.
I've got a horrible case of ADHD. And as I've gotten older, I've found out it's gotten worse. I don't know about the medicine, like they say, what's that, Adderall or something? But I tried that, and then it made it worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. I can't stick. I love to read books, but I got to read 2 and 3 pages at a time, and then come back a week later. A 300-page book, except for the first one of Shawn's, because I had to see what he said about me. Because I zipped through that one.
Vested interest in that one. Yeah,
and every other page, I'm like, come on, Shawn. And only not because it was something I was embarrassed about, it's because it was not quite as accurate as it could have been. That's being nice, saying it in a nice way.
I'm sure he's going to.
I love Shawn to death. I'm not talking him down, but I don't want to, because I like him so much. I don't want to say straight out lies in the book.
Well, do you feel there were straight out lies in his book?
I know there was.
All right. Well, as Shawn will come up on these various episodes, maybe you can correct the stories.
Well, I'll give you an example.
All right.
And I probably shouldn't, but I'll do it anyway.
Well, give us an example.
And it's all meant from the heart. And I'm lovingly telling the truth. There was a time when Shawn and I were, man, I'm telling numbers too on this one.
All right, let's hear the numbers, baby.
Don't tell Sue Aitchison.
No, as much as I love her, I don't think she watches these.
Sue, I'm giving out numbers. I know we ain't supposed to do that.
All right.
But this was so many years ago. It was like 1990 or something. Shawn and I had a. Are you texting me? Because my phone.
No, not at all. I'm just.
My phone just vibrated.
No. I'm just trying to get out to this. No, that was my phone. That was mine.
No, it says your name. What are you telling me? Oh, tell them about the time that one. No, I ain't telling them that. But so, what actually did happen? It was we were at we had a meeting with Vince, and somebody fell back there.
They're really excited about the story. All right.
Or fell asleep.
I don't think that.
They how you doing, man?
Oh, that's our friend T, I think. He's masked, though. Is that you, T? Yeah. All right, well, you're interrupting the story, but other than that...
I thought that was David Letterman.
Come on down, grab a seat from up there, and join us, brother. All right, back to this correction from the book.
Yeah, so Shawn, so we'd had a meeting with Vince about, we were mid-card at, the Rockers, mid-carders, and we asked him, and so our pay stayed after so long. Our pay stayed. It wasn't bad pay, but we was wanting to climb up the ladder, and we were working our ass off every night, 300 nights a year. Had great matches with everybody. I can't think of any tag team we had a bad match with. Even what they used to call jobbers, and I hate that term. Yeah. Extras and enhancers. I like that. I'll go with that. We had great matches with them, and so we were sitting there watching the other guys keep going up the ladder, getting more money. It wasn't so much the money, but it was too. I mean, you want to get paid for the work you put in. I mean, if you're doing better than some guy that's making $250 a year, you're only making $150,000 a year. Well, shit, what are we doing wrong?
Right.
You know, and but we had the meeting with Vince basically and said, what can we do to elevate ourselves from mid-carders? At least can we get to upper mid-card?
Yeah.
Which I think that's where we were. But we wanted to dip into the lower high cards, and the money would come with that. As
Right,
you
sure,
move up,
yep.
the money comes with it. So we had a meeting with Vince. We told him, and he was happy about that we said don't give us anything. And this is truth. We didn't want anything just given to us. We'll do more work, whatever it takes to get up there higher. I mean, we'll work in double shots all the time. I mean, just saying anything, whatever it takes. We're not saying, hey, give us anything. Just let us know what to do and we'll do it. That's basically was our meeting. He was happy about it. We believed him and we left happy, like figuring, okay, well, maybe we'll get to go up the ladder soon now. And about 2, maybe 3 weeks after that, no, it wasn't even that long, Shawn had bought a motorcycle. All the boys go through phases, or they did back then. At one point, everybody was wearing cowboy boots, which I'm not a big fan of those, so I never got into that one. Mm-hmm. But everybody's wearing the big cowboy boots and showing each other off. Look, mine's snakeskin, mine are alligator, mine's possum Peter. They were all kinds of them. But and Shawn got into that. But then another phase, they were buying motorcycles.
When would they have time to ride them?
Well, you're on the road 2 days off. Yeah, you're on your 2 days off. It was like we do 20 days, then you get 2 or 3 days off, then you come back and do a short tour, 15 days, and you get a day off. But Lex went and bought Lex Luger. They went and bought a motor. All the boys were getting into the motorcycle thing, and all of them, Anvil, Davy Boy, but Lex bought one, just bought it, paid it off cash, drove it off the lot, and right in front of the lot crashed it. and the value dropped in half right there in front of the building. But then Shawn bought one, and I was telling him, no, man, no. You see what happened to Lex, let's don't take the chance. No, I'll be fine. Well, he rode and he got caught and it started raining a little bit. Am I talking a lot?
No, you're talking a lot, yeah, but it's good stuff.
Because I'm like, damn, that voice is familiar, and I realized it was me. But it was sprinkle or just started, and I guess the road gets real slick when that happens. And he was coming to the railroad tracks, and he went to slow down, try to slow, and it started skidding. He put his foot down, and it spun and it tore his knee out.
Oh, okay.
And if you remember at SummerSlam, when he came out, there was a SummerSlam that he came out, I had to wrestle against Hercules and Paul Roma. What were they?
90.
Power and Glory.
Oh, Power and Glory, that was SummerSlam 90, yeah, in Philly.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing a year. Okay.
Yeah.
Hell, man.
Oh, I don't know.
Encyclopedia right here. But so, Shawn tore his knee out and he was out for about 3 or 4 weeks. 3 weeks.
I think it was longer than that because
might have been, yeah.
When you guys did the next loop and came through Boston, the promoted tag match turned into a singles with you and Roma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so while Shawn was out, Shane Douglas, remember Shane?
Yep.
He filled in because I guess he looked similar, still looked like the Rockers even though, and I love Shane to death. We had great matches too with everybody. But so anyway, Shawn, the point was Shawn was at home. At the time, he lived in Tampa, I lived in Orlando. Our first houses we bought.
Oh, really?
We was going to try to live in the same city because we had done it everywhere we had lived around the country as we were coming up. We always lived in the same apartment complex. Mm-hmm. When we lived in Kansas City, and then when we moved up to Minneapolis, and then we went down to Nashville, we were always right close together. So we really wanted to get our houses in the same city, but it ended up close enough, Tampa and Orlando, just like an hour and a half. And I think we both did it mainly for our girls. His girl, I think, liked Tampa. I actually loved Tampa, but I did move there eventually. But Orlando, the girl I was seeing at the time, she was a model and an actress, and Orlando was a good place for that. So I got the place in Orlando. Anyway, at the end of the tour, like it was about a 2-week tour, 14 days, 17 days, something like that, we had to go shoot a commercial. And so I went from wherever the heck I wrestled in Chicago, the night before, fly into Atlanta, and it was a cereal. It was called Superstar Cereal. Remember that one?
I think I'm familiar with this story.
It was
but keep
bigger
going.
up here in
Wasn't
North.
it? Was it cereal or was it cookies?
They had cookies too, but it was
They
cereal.
were both. Okay.
This was cereal. Yeah, and it was bigger up here in the Northeast and down, the rest of everywhere. But so we flew in. This is where I'm about to get in trouble telling the numbers. We flew in. Shawn was home, so they flew him up from Tampa into Atlanta, just shooting a commercial. And it was some of the guys. It wasn't a whole bunch of us. It was what were the natural disasters? Typhoon and earthquake.
Yeah.
They were there. The Road Warriors and Shawn as teams. Sid was there. A couple other guys for singles. I can't think right now. But so when you do commercials, if you got more than 3 speaking words, you get the first commercial you're allowed. The second commercial, if it's more than 3 words, you have to join SAG, Screen Actors Guild. Yeah, well, back then, I don't know what the rule is now. But so the people from the Screen Acting Guild, they don't know that, like, hey, guys, see what other guys are making? They go crazy. So they just hand us stacks at Find Y'all's, because they didn't know who any of us were.
Right.
Find Y'all's. So we're leaping through them, and we're seeing, here's the numbers. Sorry, but this was 1989 or something, 90. Pay would be way higher today. We're looking and everybody's getting 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. We ain't found ours yet, but we're thinking that's, each, it'd be 10,000 each. So we're like, that's a good little payday. All you do is smile and say, hey, it's great cereal. It sucked. I had a bite. But so they were going through, leafing through the papers. Everybody's got 10. Then we come across ours. And 5,000 and 5,000.
Yeah, that's how I was told it happened.
Yeah.
You guys got half of what Joe and Mike did.
Yeah.
The Road Warrior, Legion of Doom.
Yeah, and Shawn got pissed. He goes, are they just, what did they give the Road Warriors again? He's flipping through to see if they split the tag teams. The single guys getting 10, maybe the tag. No.
You were the only ones that got cut.
Yeah, even the natural disasters, not putting them down, I love them to death. But I mean, they were around for 6 months as a team.
Yeah. Not a long
and they're
run.
getting double what we're getting. Okay. But so Shawn had a fit. And he like threw the papers in there and did a little tantrum. He was like that back then. He's good. He's calmed down now. Now, older and Christian life. He's very good. But he was hard to handle. He admits that back in his younger days. But he threw the papers in there. I said, we got to sign them. we got to look for
You had to sign them, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, that's it, fuck it. We just talked to Vince about this. Fuck this shit, let's go quit. No, he's temperamental like that, but I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, Jay said nothing. Well, you want to quit? Let's quit. Because it was true. I was a little angry too. We just had this talk, and he said, you just did it. Everything's going to be fine. Meaning, you're going to go up the ladder, your money. That was like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Here's your first opportunity to prove what you said, and you did the opposite. I'm not putting them down, talking about Earthquake and him, because I love them to death. The one, what's his name, Earthquake.
John Tenta, yeah.
Great guy, man. I love him. Love Tugboat. We still get to see each other out in personal appearances and stuff, conventions, WrestleCons. And he's still big and healthy.
Big guy, yeah.
But he, there was just no way to natural disasters. They were never even meant to go be together for a few months, and that was going to be it, so they could turn them against each other. And they were getting double us. I mean, we're turning out every show. We're getting the best match every night, 300 nights a year.
Best matches of the night in a lot of cases. Longest matches of the night in many, many cases, yeah.
Oh my
God. And going on last when the main eventers would go on before intermission.
Yeah, because like Hulk Hogan, I love him too, love you, Hulk. He like he didn't want to get caught up in all the people at the end.
Yeah.
So
that did make sense. Yeah.
Well, it does, yeah. So he would always, the big main event like that, he goes on before intermission, gets the hell on out of there. guess who had to be the last match he'd get called up in? It wasn't that bad unless he was in Madison Square Garden.
Oh,
like,
my God.
you
Trying
know.
to get out of there? That's
Yeah.
crazy, yeah.
Oh, God, they'll beat your car up. But so anyway, there was a payphone. But just tells you how long ago. It was a payphone on the wall at the studio where we'd shot the thing. And Shawn was bitching and, you know, like, we did sign the paper and do the commercial. But he was like, that's it, let's quit. Because we wanted that little paycheck. But he says, go call him, tell him we quit. He tells me that.
He wanted you to call the office.
Yeah, because I handled most of our business up to that point. He never handled business, and he says it in his book. That's what I'm telling you. You'll catch a lie in his book because he tells the same story two different ways. One time, in one chapter, he says, well, Marty handled all the business stuff. When it would look like it was something bad, Marty handled all our business. A few chapters later, when it's him doing good, well, I handled all the business stuff. Marty was never into that. Okay, you said two different, pick one, and the other one's going to be a lie. You can't both be true, right? But anyway, he said, let's quit. Fuck it. We just had that meeting. Fuck it, let's quit. It didn't mean nothing to me because I was okay, and we've been talking anyway, moving on to WCW. And Dusty Rhodes and Flair were down there. I was pretty good with them. I didn't know Shawn's relationship with him. Dusty and I, rest in peace. Dusty and I used to play paper football. You remember?
Yeah. I remember doing it in school, yeah.
And because when he came up to WWF, at first nobody would have anything to do with him, mainly because he was a booker at WCW. He done fired a few people. so everybody, man, they hated him. So me and him would sit together and play football all the time. So, you know, when you do that, you get to talking and you get closer. You bond in a way. But, you know, he'd gone back to WCW. I went up to the payphone and called. What do you mean swallow this strawberry? Where do you get strawberry root beer is not bad.
Strawberry root beer can be delicious.
And what's John Cena's dad got?
He's got his own line of Faball Pop, root beer and other sodas.
Man, I'm going to have to try some of that.
There you go.
He's a good guy.
He's a great man.
I met him once or twice. Great guy. Where was I talking about?
We were talking about Shawn.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of went back and forth in his book with reality.
Yeah, and I'll go over to the payphone. I call the office. And Pat Patterson, who I love to death. Pat Patterson answers. Yeah, I asked for Vince, but I get, can we speak to Vince, the secretary? And Pat Patterson, Marty, what's going on? How you doing? I said, hey, I need to speak to Vince. Vince is kind of busy right now. Marty, can I help you? I said, yeah, me and Shawn just want to know how to put in our notice. Can we do it in writing or can we verbally? He goes, oh, Jesus Christ, Marty, hold on. And right to Vince. Went straight
he was probably listening on speakerphone.
Yeah. Marty, what's going on? And I'm like, hey, Vince, how you doing? And I love Vince to death, too. He's always been good to me. There's a couple of things that were weird, but not sexual weird. Nothing like that.
All right. We'll clarify that.
You're looking at me.
No. Well, I can't look off into space.
Well, I'm doing it. But so, Vince is like, what's going on? Like you said, he probably was, because in his voice, he already had
knew
concern.
what was happening, yeah.
And so I said, man, I'm sorry about my hair, y'all. It looked like Captain Cave, man. Captain Cave Jannetty. You got a hat?
No, I don't.
Y'all just got to deal with it, man. I'm sorry. My haircut people went out of business. Pandemic. But so Vince, I said, Vince, we just want to do it properly. Because back then you give a 90-day notice. And the purpose of that, so they beat you down for 90 days. Yeah, so when you go somewhere else, well, damn, he was getting beat for the last, it seems like longer.
Yeah.
Especially to the person getting beat down. But so I said, Vince, we want to do this properly. Do we need to write? How do we give our notice? Well, what's the problem? I said, nah, there's no more talking. And Shawn is standing right here. I'm on the phone
he's
right
listening,
here.
Yeah.
Shawn's right there. So he's not hearing Vince's part because there was no speakerphone on the payphone. But he's hearing what I'm saying. So I said, nah, Vince, we've already talked about this, the money situation, and there's no more talking. We just got our contract or our agreement for this commercial. and you kind of lied to us. And so we're just going to put our notice in. And he says something to the effect of, well, you want to come in and talk at TV? I said, no, there's no more talking. Now, Shawn's hearing this, and he's just sitting there not saying a word, just listening. And I said, so how do we do this notice? He goes, well, let me look. And he goes, I really wish you would reconsider. I said, nah, we've done everything right. And he's looking at you, you can hear him flipping pages. He goes, Survivor Series is in 3 weeks. I'll let y'all finish up there. Now, me, I got ecstatic about that. Like 3 weeks versus 90 days.
Right.
And if you lose a Survivor Series, nobody gives a shit about that. I mean, boy, you got 48 teams, tag teams, and things, so you lost. Okay. But they, and I said, I got happy. I was thanking Vince. Oh, thank you so much, Vince. Thank you. Hung up. And Shawn, because I was thanking him, he was thinking, what'd he say? He was like a little puppy. What'd he say? I said, you're not going to believe this, bro. What? He's going to let us finish up at Survivor Series, which was 3 weeks. I mean, there was no TV taping. That was it. So you get beat on TV one time at a pay-per-view.
Yeah. And that's respectable enough on a pay-per-view, yeah.
Yeah, and so me being glad we're not getting beat for 90 days, I'm happy. And Shawn's, when I said that he's letting us finish up the Survivor Series, this was Shawn's reaction. He's fucking gonna let us quit? Soon as he said that, I'm like, what do you mean let us quit? Didn't you just tell me to come over here and tell him we quit? But he's gonna fucking let us? Like, come on, Shawn was doing us a favor. Did you not see that? He's fucking gonna let us quit. I think he walked off talking to himself, probably saying that. But so that's what happened. Now, we get our flights home. I get in the plane, get back to Orlando. He goes to Tampa. And my voicemail back then, you on the road, voicemail.
Must be loaded, yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but when's the last time an answer machine? I mean, remember those things?
Or even a house phone.
Yeah. So I go home, and there's all kinds of messages. And very last one, after about 20 minutes to listen, Marty, it's Vince. Call me at the office, please, as soon as you get home. And it was like 5:20, so I'm thinking, or 5:30, I'm thinking he ain't gonna be at the office now. But I went ahead and called, and he was there. And he says, well, Marty, he goes, really don't know what to say about the decision you made. He says, but you're welcome to stay on and wrestle singles. And I was like, nah, Vince, I mean, thank you, but Shawn and I made this decision together. I'm not going to go behind his back. And he goes, well, that's kind of funny. I just talked to him, and he said he had nothing to do with that. That was all you're doing. So he's going to stay on. And I didn't even say bye, I don't think. I hung up, called Shawn, and said, Shawn, tell me it ain't true. Tell me it ain't true. And he was quiet. He knew. What? I said, you called Vince and said that was my idea, you had nothing to do with it, and you're going to stay on? And he says, Marty, on the flight home, I got to think about it. And man, you're single. I'm married. I paid my house off in the first year.
You were smart about it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hate paying interest. I had the money. It wasn't that much, like $150,000 place. Unlike the million, everybody goes and get the $1 million homes, and then if you get laid off or let go 2 months later, now
what are you going to do, right? Yeah.
But I mean, I had enough, and like I said, I hate paying interest. Why?
Why? I'm that way with credit cards.
Yeah.
Hate to pay. I haven't paid interest in 10 years.
Yeah, man. Ain't no sense
crazy.
in it. Why give them the money you took backdrops for? But so, Shawn, he said, your house is paid off. I've still got to pay on mine. I just can't quit right now. I said, well, that's fine. Why didn't you tell me that rather than tell me to call Vince and say I quit? No, we quit. He got real quiet, and he just kept saying he was sorry. Who was the bad guy? Who looked like the bad guy? I called up and quit. And he's Vince. That's Vince's boy. Vince loves Shawn to death. I think he likes me, but I mean, he just has this thing about Shawn. Shawn can do no wrong. But so he called Vince back, and he said, we'll have a meeting at TV. Next TV coming up was like couple weeks or something or other. And sure enough, all the boys, it's a TV taping, all the boys there. One agent, I'm not going to say Tony Gurria's name, but went around and because he'd heard about it. Why are you laughing, man?
I know Tony.
and another agent that I think he died though, Chief Strongbow.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I don't want to say his name either. But a couple of agents got the word, and they went around and told all the boys. Shawn stabbed his partner. And back then, like again, I'm not talking Shawn down because I love him to death. I love him to death back then. He was just, but particularly Strongbow, but I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah.
Didn't like Shawn a lot, and he went and told everybody about Shawn stabbed his partner in the back, stabbed him in the back. And from when I got there, a lot of the boys, not all the boys, a lot of the boys. I remember Wayne Bloom in particular. I remember Wayne the Train Bloom and
Beverly Brothers in WWE.
Yeah, man, you got it all. Wayne comes up. That's fucked up what Shawn did, and we all were together in Minneapolis.
Yeah, AWA time. Yeah.
And so there's a bond there. And so Wayne was pissed about something like that. Marty, I'll go beat his ass for you. You want me to go beat his ass? Like, no, man, no. I mean, if it came down to that, I can handle myself. I don't need y'all to go, because 2 or 3 people got really upset about it. I guess they thought he was a little too arrogant back then. But like, no, we'll figure it out. We'll get it. No, y'all leave him alone. But it was just amazing to me that everybody knew. Gosh damn, some agents had some big mouths, But it was kind of nice, that the boys cared. I don't know if they cared about me as much as they despised him. It might have been a combo.
Maybe a little of both. Yeah.
And so, end up we had a meeting with Vince, and that's when he said, we're going to split you guys off, and what we want to do, Marty, is make a star out of Shawn. And I'm like,
well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear.
And I might have done like this when he said it. So, and I'm like, and I'm thinking about when they split tag teams up.
Yeah.
Am I talking a lot?
No. Oh, no, you are, but that's the purpose of the show.
Yeah, it's a talk show, ain't it?
Exactly.
But so, I'm sitting there knowing what they do with tag teams. The one that they push, the other one's going, he's faded out. So that's what I'm thinking, like, wow, I brought us this far. I mean, because Shawn has actually told it in a couple interviews. While he was good as he could be, he was very good. I was teaching him a lot in the younger years. He eventually passed me, and then I'm learning from him. But at the beginning, to that point, I'd brought him there. And now they're going to run with him. And I said, Vince, can I talk to you after the meeting? And Vince did say this. He said, we see a superstar in Shawn. Marty, don't quite see that with you right now. Thanks. You got any more shit to throw on me? But so I said, can I talk to you? When we're in the meeting, he goes, sure. And, Shawn left, and I said, what's going to happen? What are you going to do? Like, meaning, are you going to fade me out? And he knew what I was asking. He goes, that'll be up to you. I said, well, you said that you don't see superstar in me. I said, will you give me the opportunity to prove you wrong? He smiled. He goes, I like that attitude. Still phased me out, you bastard. No, I didn't. But, so that is what really happened. That's how it happened. Then the next thing, Shawn and I got together. This is another thing. And we were talking about how to do the split. And then, we came up with doing it like a Piper's Pit or beefcakes thing. Mm-hmm. And then we thought about the barber shop. And what if, and we started coming up with like, throw one of us, you throw me through the window. That was basically I had suggested to him. He just wanted to go in the barber shop and do it. But I'm like, what if you, I didn't mention the super kick. Because we did everything together. But I said, what if you ended up throwing me through the window? And I come back and I got some blood and stuff. He goes, we can't bleed on TV. Remember, we can't bleed on TV. I said, it'll be an accident. But I said, and then you pick up a bottle of alcohol and like pour it on, because you know that in open cuts, burns. I mean, that's even worse. And he's like, that sounds good, except the alcohol might be overkill. And it might have been,
Yeah.
But basically what I'm saying is we put the story together. But it was my idea. And then next thing I know, he's off telling everybody, I came up with the idea, because it's iconic. It's 27 years later.
People still talk about it and love it. Yeah.
And you know, another thing, he had, on interviews I'd seen, he said, yeah, I actually came up with that for when we was going to wrestle the Nasty Boys. They had already gone down to WCW. They weren't even there then. that's.
Well, they were still there during that barbershop.
Were they there?
Yeah, the Nasties were there until early '93, and that happened in early '92.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, it's so hard to know with them because they were in and out. I got a good novel story that they're Nasty Boy story.
Well, I want to get to that time period, but I'm interested to see how this story culminates, and we'll go from there.
Let me lock it out.
All right.
So anyway, barbershop window did our thing. Okay, I told this story before. Shawn went and did an interview, and on there Shawn was saying, well, you know, Marty he screwed things up, and I just couldn't deal with it no more, and I had no idea that he was telling that story.
Yeah.
That he told Vince, he was like, it really happened that way. Like, Marty did stuff behind my back, and I brought Dusty Rhodes and Flair for a reason. I'm not going to say which one. But rest in peace. but I called the WCW because Shawn's like, you're kind of close with him. Call him. I said, okay. That was part of Shawn's bow and all that. Look, just quit, because he knew that you got ends with WCW with those guys. To call him, and I did, and talked to, like I said, I'm not going to say the one's name. But
rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, Marty, let me tell you something, Daddy. You guess which one it was now. But he said, we would take you in a minute, but your partner's got heat here. Okay, so now you think I want to go back and tell Shawn, like, they want me, but they don't want. So I just said, I can't get nothing done. I took it like that. And so then that's where Shawn ran with the Marty. He told me he had all these people, and then when it come down to it, he couldn't talk to nobody. He had lied to me. He had nothing, no connection. I got that thrown on me because I was trying to save his feelings and saying,
right,
I just
they don't want you.
Yeah, I didn't want to say, tell him that. Let me tell you something, Daddy. But so then, here's a little upsetting. I hate to get into the religion part of it, but when we did the Rocker reunion, I was there. I had brought a girl with me to get her backstage. Where some of the guys bring their wife, but it's everybody didn't know that you don't get to bring girlfriends back backstage. So I had to go around. I hate to say it, but I lied about it. I said it was my wife, so they would let her backstage. Pretty young black girl, and one of my best wrestling students, Bobby Sanford, black guy. So, and they were friends. That's actually how I met her. So I told everybody WWE, that's my wife and that's her brother. So that's my brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
And there's a reason I bring that up. The color shouldn't have came in except for the relationship of brother-in-law. So Shawn comes up to me. He was doing his book, the first book. And now he's religious and everything. So he called me over. He goes, we were at during the day of the TV, you're around all day and you're out about by the arena, by the ring, and he says, I got to talk to you about something. And he did the eye cross, and I thought, this is going to get serious. What have I done now? And we were getting along good, too. We always do, we really always did. There was just one bad night, and other than that, we always did well. But I didn't appreciate some of the burying me with lies and shit, but whatever, that's in the past. Bobby was his name, Bobby Sanford. He calls, he says, get your brother-in-law over here. I want him to hear this. I want to get this correct for the book. He goes, because I'm in that spot for the book. And I heard you remember, and Bobby, he called, I said, Bobby, come here. Bobby comes over. So Bobby's a witness. I mean, if anybody thinks I'm lying, I got one witness.
All right, there you go.
And then actually more people know exactly what happened as far as the boys. So, I mean, I got no reason to lie. I mean, I don't care to. What's it going to do for me? If it was going to get me $1 million, I'd think about it. But now, he said, I heard you remember what happened when we, at the serial taping a little differently than what I remember. What do you remember? That's the way he asked me, right? Mm-hmm. And he was called Bobby over because he wanted him to hear. And Bobby's sitting there, Bobby was, a student, very good, one of the best. And he was like cool to meet Shawn. He was kind of like your boy today, kind of hog-heaving, like, oh, cool. And I said, Shawn, I remember how it happened. He goes, well, how did it happen? He asked me. And I told him exactly what I told y'all, except maybe even shorten it, because we all got such short attention spans.
Yeah.
Am I talking too much?
No.
Okay. But so, I told him everything. Now, right in front of Bobby, it didn't surprise me, but Bobby just kind of grinned and put his head there. He goes, damn it. How do you remember so many things when you did more drugs than me? And he turned around and kind of stomped off. Like, guess what he put in the book? The other way, the way he originally told it. And his whole purpose of calling Bobby over, calling me over, and going through that whole thing is so, because he's a Christian now, he wants to get things right, and he's at that point in the book. He gets told, he has a little tantrum. It was a funny tantrum, it wasn't like a mad...
Yeah, it wasn't anger.
Yeah, he was just like, damn, how do you remember such... you did way more drugs than I did. But so, then I read the book, and I'm like, wow. And then Bobby, when he read the book, he called me, goes, he just lied real bad. Yeah, so...
well, I tell you, we have got a boatload of stories with you, Marty, coming up over the episodes we're going to tape today. We're hoping to have you back even in September again to tape more. So we like to call our Wrestling Insiders series just Memories and Legends, and that's what it's all about. Maybe we could even do an episode and break down Shawn's book point by point. That would be
you want to get me in trouble, don't you?
That'd be very well.
We're doing good. Me and Shawn are doing good. Something like that might. He ain't gonna piss me off. I've had to deal with this shit, but he's changed his life, So there's so many road stories. I got my book 3/4 of the way done. There's so many road stories that I have to alter. When I say alter, no, I won't change it. Not a damn thing. I'm not going to tell a lie anywhere in the book because to me... You're in the middle of a book right now? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, great. We can promote it right here. It's been for like 3 or 4 years. We can promote it right here. Hey, the MJ in the House book is coming. I don't know what we're going to call it. Don't wish me luck because it's all bad. But, shit, I forgot what to say. What was I saying? There's so many stories I can't tell. I know what I'm saying. I would never lie at all, really, but in a book because if you tell one lie, who's to believe the rest of the shit? Would you guess what's true and what's not? So I never would put something in. If I don't know it real well, this way it happened, I won't even put it like, I kind of remember this, because Beefer, I love him to death. His version of the barbershop's a little bit different than what it actually was. All right, well, you know what? I want to get there, too, especially as we try and do this timeline of... And Beefer and I are boys. I mean, we're good. We're going to hopefully have him here later on in 2020, knock on wood, with everything going on with the virus. Right now, we're going to take a timeout. We need to get to the actual point of the episode, but Marty, this is great taking us on an adventure, much like Tony does when we're at his house Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock. So right now we're going to take a brief timeout, fans. When we come back, we're going to look at the Rockers entering the World Wrestling Federation. It's going to be a great time period in the second half of 1988. Stand by. The World Wrestling Federation was live at the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, Tuesday, June the 17th, 1986, setting a new attendance record of over 23,000 fans. In the opening contest, Mike Rotundo and Danny Spivey beat the Moondogs. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff battled Don Morocco to a double disqualification. Pedro Morales with the win over Tiger Chung Lee. Hercules defeated S.D. Jones. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat battled Jake the Snake Roberts to a double disqualification.
King Kong Bundy victorious over George Wells. And in the main event, WWF World Champion Hulk Hogan retained the title over Big John Studd. If you were in Tacoma Live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our world-renowned Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston wrestling sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.